Starseeds, welcome back to Irene the Cocoa Queen. So today we're going to be making Nigella Lawson's amazing vegan chocolate cake. So let's get right into it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to place 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour into your bowl, along with 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of instant coffee. You can use espresso powder or Nescafe granules. That goes in. And 3/4 cup of raw cacao powder. So with a whisk, you're just going to whisk all of the ingredients up until all of the ingredients are combined. And so we've taken care of the dry ingredients. Now what we're going to do is take care of the wet ingredients and then marry the two together. So let's put this aside now that all of the ingredients are wonderfully combined. Take another bowl. So to a fresh bowl, you're going to add 1 3/4 cup of recently boiled water. And to that, we're going to go in with 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil, 1 1/2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, and this combined with the baking soda is really going to help the cake rise, and 1 1/2 cups of sugar. So we're just going to give this a nice mix with our whisk until all the ingredients are combined. This is such an easy recipe. Just combine the dry ingredients and then combine the wet ingredients and then marry the two together to make a gorgeous, rich chocolate cake. And the reason why we need a lot of water in this recipe is because we are adding a lot of dry ingredients like cacao powder, which can really dry out the cake. So by adding a lot of water, it adds a lot of moisture to the cake. So now we're just going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. It's already smelling so good in here. And now we're just going to mix it. There is one ingredient that we forgot to add in, but we will be adding it in very soon. That is so rich, and I can really smell the chocolate. So now for my favorite part, you're just going to take really good quality vanilla extract and put in about 2 teaspoons or more and continue whisking. Although you don't want to over mix the batter. Ooh, that smells good. Okay. So I've got a small cake pan here. This recipe actually makes a very small cake, so if you do want quite a big cake, you're going to have to double or triple the recipe. So I just lined it with some parchment paper, and you're just going to pour all of that deliciousness. Wow. And of course we have to get every last bit, although my spatula isn't with me right now. But I will do that later. Okay. A casual stroll to the oven, as Nigella would say. This is going to go in for 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. So we are going to make this coconut frosting, and for those of you who want to make this and want the measurements, you can just check out the link, not the link, but the description box below, and check out the measurements there. So you're going to start off with some cold water, and to that we're going to add in some coconut butter. Oh, right. We're adding in the coconut butter. Looks delicious. Along with some brown sugar. Cacao powder. Instant espresso or any kind of coffee. Nigella does use instant espresso, FYI. And now we're just going to mix this up. So now what we're going to do is take your chopped chocolate and just place it into the pot. And now we're going to turn off the heat, and we are just going to let it melt a little bit. So we're just mixing all of the chocolate in so it's nice and smooth. So my frosting actually seized up, like the chocolate seized up and it became lumpy. I don't know exactly why that happened, but I ended up fixing it by adding in just a little bit of water to it, okay? So if that happens, if your chocolate seizes up, just go ahead and add a little bit more water until you get that smooth, silky consistency. So the one thing that we left out is adding in the vanilla extract. So that's what we're gonna do, and that is the final step to making the most silky smooth frosting for your cake. Okay, so our chocolate cake is ready and has been cooling for quite some time now. So now it's time to pour all of this chocolate frosting goodness all over the cake. Oh yeah. The best part about this cake is going to be the pistachios and rose petals that we're going to be adding on top. Oh, that is just gloriously dripping down the sides of the cake. I'm being a little shy with the frosting because I'm a little afraid that it's just gonna drip all the way down and create this big mess, but you know something? That's the whole point, isn't it? There we go. So now's the time to top your cake with anything you like, but I'm gonna go ahead and top mine off with crushed pistachios. Oh my God, the smell of the pistachios and the color is just so beautiful. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. So once your cake is covered in pistachios, you're going to go ahead and cover it with some dried rose petals. So I usually make a tea with these dried rose petals, but today I'm going to be enjoying its rich flavor with the cake. So I think rose petals and chocolate are just meant to be together. Wow, that looks really good. It smells delicious. It smells so good, so good. So our cake is done, and I really didn't bother cleaning the sides of the cake because I thought it looked scrumptious. So now we're going to cut a piece. Moment of truth. But I'm telling you, I just didn't know about this combination of rose petals and pistachios. So, oh wow. Yes, I'm excited. So that's the inside of the cake. Greg will show you the inside of the cake. Now, let's We're going in. Wow. That's so decadent. What?
Star of the show.
So this cake is so decadent and rich that it's almost a brownie consistency. And FYI, if you guys don't put enough water into this cake, it will be drier than you would like. So make sure you put enough water in. The batter should be a little bit loose and relaxed. You are just about finished with that piece. You need a glass of milk with that?
Remember this moment. Remember it.
Wow. This is so good. Okay, hear me out. I repeat, like I said earlier, if you guys don't put enough water into the batter, it will be dry because there's a whole lot of cacao powder in this cake. So please make sure you add in the description below, you can see all of the measurements for the cake, okay? For this recipe. Make sure you're accurate and you measure everything out because you need the moisture. And I actually made two cakes, the one cake which followed Nigella's recipe to the T and another cake which had a little less water. I actually made a mistake. And the difference is incredible. So this is just so mouth-watering and the crumb is so moist and decadent at the same time, whereas the other cake was just really, it was very decadent and very rich, like a brownie, but it really needed some moisture in there too because it's almost like you needed a glass of milk right afterwards, you know, to like help it wash down. Anyway, this is really, really delicious. So I hope you guys try this chocolate cake by Nigella Lawson. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel because we are here every single Wednesdays and Sundays giving you a whole lot of plant-based goodness. So I will see you guys next time for the next recipe.